Hi, I got a couple of things I wanted to bring to you today. I'm still in Chronicles. A lot of it is a lot of wordy stuff. One thing that kind of impressed me today and made me think about some things is that when Solomon began to build the house of the Lord and he began to build his temple, David was the one that wanted to do it, and God said, "No, you can't do this because you're a man of war, but I'm going to let Solomon do it." Um, there's a lot in Second Chronicles 3 that goes on and on about how the temple's to be built and what it's to be made out of and what's to be put in it. And that gets a little dull after a while. But if you miss the beginning of Second Chronicles 3, you miss a lot. Because it says, "Then Solomon began to build the house of the Lord in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, where the Lord had appeared to David his father at the place that David had appointed on the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite." Now that doesn't sound like much, but if you go back and you look, the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite was where David went to sacrifice and ask for forgiveness from the Lord after he took that census that I talked about the other day. That was a place of forgiveness. Mount Moriah, where he was told to go build it, Mount Moriah was the place where Abraham took Isaac to sacrifice him. That was Mount Moriah. So it was not only a place of forgiveness, it was a place of mercy. None of these things were by chance. Everything had a purpose. God had a purpose in all of this. It wasn't a chance thing to go to Mount Moriah and build a temple. It wasn't a chance thing that you go to the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite to build a temple. This is all a part of a plan. God has always had a plan for us. He's always had a plan for us. And if he was that picky about his temple and everything, and we know that his plan included Jesus coming to earth, dying on the cross, and forgiving us of our sins. We know all these things. We know they were not by chance. Nothing is by chance when it comes to God. Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there were none of them." So even before we were born, he knew who we were. He knew what we were going to go through. He knew the number of our days, and he saw everything. He had it all planned out. Nothing is ever by chance. God knows right now and knew before that we would be going through a pandemic, that we'd be stuck at home, that things would not seem normal, and he knows how this is going to end. And even when I'm getting really frustrated with some things like, why can't we just go to church? Then I got to remember, he knows the outcome. He knows the end of the story. He knows how this all works out. So let's keep that in mind. Even when we get really down about this stuff, nothing is ever by chance. See ya.